Students, counselors, families, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever it is in the world you are joining us. Thank you so much for joining us for the National Catholic College Admission Association Virtual College Fair. We've got a great group of college representatives here to answer your questions and share about their institutions for the next 45 minutes. And a reminder, we're doing the 6x6 model. So each institution is presenting about their specific institution for 6 minutes. They are here, though, behind the scenes the entire time to answer any questions that you may have. When you have your questions, you'll use that Q&A button to send in those questions. They can be general. Tell me about your campus culture. Tell me about Catholic life on campus. Or they can be very specific. Hey, Mount Joseph University, Mount St. Joseph University, tell me about your biology program. So make sure to indicate in your question if it's for a specific college or if it's a general question for everyone. As a reminder, your camera and your microphone are turned off. The panelists cannot see or hear you. So any questions you have, type it in through that Q&A. This is the last hour of session. So unfortunately, there's no more to sign up for, but we'll hope you stick through the entire 45-minute presentation to hear from these great colleges. And we are recording this session and all of the sessions today. And you can find those recordings at strivescan.com/NCCAA. Our first institution to present is Mount St. Joseph University. Matt, go ahead and grab screen share from me. And as Matt does, just that reminder to use that Q&A and send in your questions through the duration of the session. So Matt, go ahead and take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Zach. Welcome, everybody. My name is Matt Wright. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Mount St. Joseph University. We are located in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we are super, super excited. We are just celebrating our centennial as a university. So we were started all the way back in 1920. We were actually started by the Sisters of Charity, and their whole goal with starting Mount St. Joe was to create a college that would benefit their community. And so they were educating young women at the time, and now we educate everybody and anyone. So at the time in nursing and in education, the whole goal was to provide nurses and educators for their local community. We have expanded so much since then. We have over 40 different undergraduate majors as well as different master's and doctoral programs. But that same goal is still consistent across all of our majors, that we want to build students that are going to go out and make an impact in their community beyond just being a producer, but really making a meaningful life and having a positive impact on those around them. We are a small liberal arts university, so we have around 2,000 students, and we boast a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. It means that you're going to have a really individualized experience, and we're really excited about how much you're going to be able to form relationships with your faculty members. It really revolutionizes your education. A couple of highlights for us as a university. We do have a 99.6% career outcome rate. We are very excited about that, and that is something that does not happen by accident. We are super committed to developing students while they're here so that as they go out into the world, they can step in with confidence. One of the major ways that we do that is through our Career and Experiential Education Center. We have a huge emphasis on co-op opportunities here at the Mount. What that means is that as you're getting your degree, alongside that, we will have co-op opportunities for you where you are getting paid and doing meaningful work in the fields that you are studying. We have students all across the board, everything from liberal arts all the way into health sciences, and every single one of them is out in the actual workspace that they're going to be pursuing. And beyond college, we actually offer lifelong career counseling for all students that come through the Mount. So we are super, super committed to this and committed to making sure that as you leave the Mount, you're seeing a return on the investment of both the time and the money that you spent here with us. Additionally, we do have service learning opportunities. Like I said, with the Sisters of Charity, we are so committed to providing benefits to the community around us. We are located in a small, part of Cincinnati called Delhi. And it is very much like a small town community. And so we do a ton here in Delhi just to benefit the local schools, to benefit the local health services, and just to be able to get our students out there and really showcasing that we are benefit the community, and not only here in Delhi, but also in the Cincinnati area as a whole. And the last thing I'll talk about here is study abroad. We do have a ton of study abroad opportunities, both full semester study abroad opportunities. We have a sister school in London, but also something that a ton of our students take advantage of is our small 2-week trips that are study abroad opportunities for our students. You just go, you see students down on the left, they went to Ireland, but we have students going all across the globe with these opportunities, and really just broadens your horizons. We are excited to open our Centennial Fieldhouse, which is our new recreation and fitness center. This is a benefit not just for all of our student athletes on campus, but also for our health science individuals and also our entire campus as a whole. Every single student on our campus is welcome to come and use the Olympic-sized weight room, the turf and full-sized indoor track and field. It is actually the only indoor track and field within a 100-mile radius of the mountain. So we are super, super blessed to have this on our campus and available for all of our students to use. And then one of the last things that I have to talk about when talking about the Mount is just our connection to Cincy. We are 10 minutes from downtown, 2 turns from downtown, and there are so many fun things to do. We love to get our students off campus and out into the city, not just in those workplace opportunities that I mentioned. You can see that we have major health networks, major sports franchises, different Fortune 500 companies, but also out and just having fun. We have a street market called Finley Market. There's the Underground Railroad that has the National Museum here in Cincinnati, and we are just so excited to get our students out there and experiencing all the different things. For our application, we do a comprehensive review. So both now and for fall of 2022, we are test optional. And as we review this admission cycle as well as next, we will potentially continue that. What we're looking for is not just your scores and your GPA, but also just to see like who you are as a person and how you are going to bring yourself and transform yourself here at the Mount, and what you're going to bring and transform our community as you join us. For all of my juniors, application does open September 1st, and it is completely free to apply. We do a ton of scholarshiping here at the Mount. At very minimum, anybody that gets admitted to the Mount is getting an $11,000 scholarship right off the top, and we scale that up for academics, and we also have additional scholarships which are due by the January 31st of the year that you would be attending the Mount. And guys, that does wrap up all that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but please, please, please come and visit us. If you go to msj.edu/visit, you can actually do an interactive tour that's available in both English and Spanish for any students, but also we are doing in-person visits, and we are super conscious about making sure everyone is safe during those. So feel free to come check us out on msj.edu/visit. I will also put that into the chat so you guys can follow up with us there. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing that information. And we're going to do a 4-hour and 30-minute drive from Cincinnati, Ohio to Chicago, Illinois to learn about DePaul University. Gio, go ahead and grab screen share from me. And as Gio does to present on DePaul, reminder to use that Q&A, send in your questions to our admissions representatives. And take it away, Gio.
Thanks, Zach. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. My name is Javon Zazar, also known as Gio, and I'm in Chicago, Illinois. So DePaul is a private Catholic institution in the heart of Chicago, Illinois, with an undergraduate population of about 14,500 students. While we have big school resources and are located in the third largest US city, your academic experience at DePaul will still be very personal by design. So our average class size is 22, and 90% of our classes have fewer than 40 students. So our student body is very diverse and reflects the diversity of our global community. 40% of our students actually come to DePaul from out of state. 44% of our freshmen are students of color, and 35% of our freshmen are the first in their family to earn a college degree. As you may have guessed, we were named for St. Vincent de Paul, who dedicated his life to ending cycles of poverty and social injustice. We aim to keep that Vincentian tradition alive. So we prepare all of our students to think and act with others in mind, using higher education as a means to engage cultural, social, religious, and ethical values in service to others. All right, so DePaul students split their time between 2 campuses in the city of Chicago. Our Lincoln Park campus, which we call our urban neighborhood campus, has a traditional feel with a quad, 11 residence halls, a student center, a big library. It's where you'd most likely go and see students going to class in DePaul kind of apparel and stuff. And 15 minutes away to the south is our financial district, and it's called the Loop campus because the train actually goes around in a loop. And that's where students take elevators to class instead of walking across the quad. You'd be more likely to see a student going to class in a blazer coming straight from an internship or an interview in the city. Almost all of our students will actually take classes on both campuses. All right, So at DePaul, these are all the different colleges. I unfortunately don't have enough time to go through them all, but academically, our students pick from over 300 different options. Some of our most popular programs are housed in our College of Business, in our conservatory style programs in theater and music. Our science and health focused degrees are strong, and we have accelerated options for students interested in medical related professions. And then the College of Computing and Digital Media is actually our fastest growing school and is home to film and television, animation, and game design. We also have several honors options at DePaul, university-wide honors program, and specific programs for business and health science students. We have a combined 3+3 option with DePaul's Law School, where students can graduate with a bachelor's degree and JD in 6 years instead of 7. If you're undecided or like a lot of things, no worries. We are double major and minor friendly across all schools. As long as you're in good academic standing, you can change your major at any time. When it comes to student life, our students are incredibly involved on campus, and we have over 400 different clubs and organizations. Students cheer for our NCCAA, Division I Blue Demons, play club and intramural sports, participate in outdoor adventure programs. We have political, religious, and academically focused clubs, and about 10% of our students are involved in fraternity and sorority life. In one afternoon, you can attend theater and music productions on campus and then go sample the local fare with the pizza club, which is really fun. I love to actually kind of go into the student center throughout the year and see what freebies are offered, as most of our students do. Oops, everything's going haywire. There we go. So with that, in Chicago, as I mentioned, we're located in Chicago. We help our students get used to the city. You take your first class, your first quarter, called the Chicago Quarter class, where they go on-site visits and explore the city using one of over 100 different topics as a lens. You can learn about the Cubs, crime and politics in Chicago, improv in the city, art and public sculpture. Those are all just sample classes, and you're going between the Loop, Lincoln Park, in neighborhoods like Pilsen, and it's pretty much just to get everyone a handle on what's happening in the city. So the class is a great way to explore new neighborhoods and learn how to use the L, which is the elevated train and buses, and get to know resources on campus like the Writing Center, Career Center, Center for Students with Disabilities. We're also really proud of our outcomes at DePaul. 6 months after graduation, 91% of our students are employed, continuing their education, or exploring other options. There's no accident that, due in large part to the fact that all of our students are required to do something called experiential learning their junior year. So it's either an internship or a study abroad program or a community-based service learning project. And because of our Career Center, and they're just so active on campus, and it helps with life after graduation. We also have something called the Alumni Sharing Knowledge Program, which is where alumni actually come back and help to have our students be job ready before graduation. If this sounds interesting to you, we'd love to have you apply on our common application. So you just go to commonapp.org and you use the application on there, but we look at the application a holistic kind of process, which means we look at your essay, your resume, activities, summaries, letters of recommendation, and in addition to your transcript and maybe your test score, because we are test optional and have been for the past 10 years, actually. Academic merit-based scholarships and honors programs, all kind of, we look at the holistic student. So don't worry if your kind of GPA is a certain thing or your tests are a certain way. We actually consider the full student at DePaul. So if you're considering DePaul, feel free to think about how you want to highlight your strengths in the application. And if a test score does not reflect who you are as a student, or maybe you don't even have one with everything that's happening, it's not a problem. All right, so here's my information. I'll also drop it in the chat. Definitely come on over to DePaul. We have in-person tours happening now. They're going fast, but they are available. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Gio, for sharing that information about DePaul University. That's great. We're going to take a flight from Chicago, Illinois to the Newark Airport. It's a 2-hour flight, very quick, beautiful takeoff, beautiful landing. And we're now going to learn about the next institution, St. Peter's University. Kaylee, take it away.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylee Galbraith. I'm Assistant Director of Undergrad Admission at St. Peter's University. So we are a Jesuit university, so this means different things to different people. We always like to say our students come for a degree, but leave with so much more. Kind of the big takeaways from their Jesuit identity is there's a ton of options for community service. On top of that, we also have this thing called Cure Personalis, which I'll talk about in 1 second. So we're a pretty small school, about 3,600 students. Student to faculty ratio is 13:1, and there's that cura personalis that I mentioned a second ago. So this is a Jesuit tradition, meaning care for the whole person. So at St. Peter's, you're going to learn about not just things academically, but about yourself spiritually or socially, that kind of stuff. We really want to create a well-rounded person, and your professors care about you and they want to see you succeed in all aspects of your life, not just academically. Average class size your freshman year is around 22. Once you get more into your concentration, it can get down to as low as 13 or 14, and we even have some classes with as few as 6 or 7 students. So you definitely get individualized attention from your professors, and they're there for you every step of the way. You can see here we have 50,000 hours of community service each year. There's a ton of options, clubs. You can see down in the bottom left corner is a picture from our Junkyard Dogs Club. So they go around the neighborhood and they clean up and kind of help everyone out that way. Our mascot is the peacock. His name is Peter. He's pretty awesome. And he's a symbol for immortality. And we do have a 94% job placement rate after graduation, which we're super proud of. We're proud of our students as well as our career center for kind of helping them out with that. So we are located in Jersey City, New Jersey. This means we are 12 minutes from Manhattan. So some amazing opportunities for internships and things like that, but also some amazing fun things to do. We have Broadway, there's shopping right there. So definitely a great location. For academics, we do have over 50 majors at St. Peter's. Our top 5 kind of most popular: biology, psychology, criminal justice, nursing, and business. We do have state-of-the-art technology for these. So we do have a trading room that kind of mimics Wall Street for our business majors. We have a nursing sim lab with these dummies that you kind of practice on before getting out and working on real people. We have a cybersecurity center for our students in cybersecurity. And we are also getting a new computer center with artificial intelligence and machine learning for people in that concentration as well. So we're really excited about that. We do have over 70 student organizations on campus, which is a ton for our size. There are clubs from cultural clubs, we have community service-based clubs, academic-based clubs, and then just those fun clubs. So we have an anime club, we have a puppy club where you actually train a service dog, which is really, really cool. You can see the picture here. These are some of the organizations put on different things. So this picture here is our Peacock Color Run. There's also a ton of different opportunities too. We did a haunted house one year. Our students have gone to different sporting events, Yankees games, because we're so close to the city. The New York Red Bull is pretty much in our backyard for soccer, if you're interested in that. So definitely a ton of clubs for you to get involved in. And we also have intramural sports and extramural sports. We are Division I. We are in the MAC conference. Men's and women's basketball is definitely our most popular. It's not uncommon to see our students at games all the time cheering on our Peacocks. Residence life. So we do guarantee housing all 4 years. We do have the traditional residence hall style for freshman, sophomore year. Junior, senior years, more apartment style housing. That being said, we are about 60% commuter, so a large chunk of our population does come from New Jersey. So we do have a free shuttle that goes to Journal Square, which is the subway stop right near campus. It's about a block away, so you could walk there if you wanted to. There are also 8 parking lots around campus, and we do offer commuter meal plans for these students. So for the application process, we do what's called a holistic reading, as Gio talked about not too long ago. So we do look at your GPA. We are test optional, have been for a while now. The only thing we are not test optional for is our nursing program. We do look at your essays, and we do all that to assess your readiness and make sure you'd be a good fit at St. Peter's. So for cost of attendance, I know these are really big numbers, but I need you to stick with me. So tuition's around 39, room and board's about 16, bringing your total to around 55. But every student admitted to St. Peter's does receive a scholarship. This year, our baseline scholarship was $20,000, and it moves up with GPA all the way to a full ride. So you have the potential to go to St. Peter's for free, which is always great. We do also offer a Catholic Schools Award, a legacy grant, so you get a little bit of bump there. And 90% of our students end up receiving additional forms of financial aid. So if you're ready to apply, or for my juniors next year, we are on the Common App and we do have our own PDF application. We are a free application, so I always encourage students to apply. It doesn't cost anything, so you can always see how much financial aid you're going to get from us. And my email is down there in the bottom, but I will also throw that in the chat.
All right. Thank you so much for that information, Kaylee, on St. Peter's University. Next up, we've got Matt, who's going to present to us on College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. This is a just shy of a 20-hour drive from St. Peter's University to College of St. Benedict, St. John's. So get your books on tape ready to go for that drive, and take it away, Matt.
All right, well, I'm hoping that maybe you can catch a flight, all right? So maybe that would be a little shorter from Newark out here to, oh, let me start oh, am I good?
There we go, now we can see you.
Oh, perfect, there we go, sorry about that. So yeah, hopefully the flight will work instead of the long drive. Thank you all for having me on. My name is Matt Byrne, I'm the Director of Admission out here at the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University in Minnesota. Thrilled to be a part and hearing these other wonderful Catholic schools talk about their campuses. And so I'm excited to tell you a little bit about our schools at St. Ben's and St. John's. And the first thing I think is important for you to understand is that we actually have two schools. It's the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. And this is a very unique partnership in the United States. There's really no other schools that have this kind of relationship in the United States. And so as a student, you actually have the full power and resources of two fully equipped college campuses that you can use every day and every night. We have the College of St. Benedict, which is located in St. Joseph, Minnesota. And that campus has about 1,800 women. Right down the road, about 4 miles away, we have St. John's University, which is a campus with about 1,700 men. So all told, between the two campuses, we have 3,500 students. With that, you have complete total access to both campuses. You have two student centers, two science centers, two libraries, two athletic facilities, two churches. You have 4 places to eat, 2 at St. Ben's and 2 at St. John's. Your meal card is good at all 4. You have access to everything on both of these campuses day and night. So that's something that our students get really excited about. They like having that variety, and that's something that you have on our campuses. Now, with that, we're located only about 70 miles from Minneapolis, St. Paul. So when you catch that plane into Minneapolis, you're going to take about an hour ride up to our campuses, and you can see we're located in beautiful central Minnesota Lake Country. Yes, we have cold winters, but we also have other seasons as well. Now, with that, at St. Ben's and St. John's, on our campuses, we have 3,500 students. We have over 3,300 acres of land, and we have 7 lakes on campus. We have a wildlife refuge on campus. If you like hiking, biking, canoeing, kayaking, swimming, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, ice fishing, stuff maybe you've never done before. I know I hadn't done any of that when I came all the way out here from Richmond, Virginia, across the country to go to school here. We have all of that available to you right on campus. You don't have to go anywhere to find it. So it's right here for you on our campuses. With that, like a lot of other great schools, we have the smaller class sizes because we're smaller schools. Our average class size is 19. We cap our classes at 36, so you're not going to be any big lecture halls or anything like that. Your professors are going to know who you are. They're going to know where you're from. Every class is taught by a professor. From your first day to your graduation day, you're going to be taught by an expert in that field at St. Ben's and St. John's. Also, in order to graduate, you've got to have that experience outside the classroom. It could be like our students in the top of the picture here we have a summer Washington, D.C. internship program that goes every year. Could be our students on the right who won the Deloitte & Touche National Accounting Case Study Competition. Could be our students on the left who actually went and did a medical mission trip down to Guatemala 2 years ago. Couldn't do it last year because of COVID. It could be our students below who actually go out and study in the wilderness in our environmental studies program. Lots of opportunities if you need to do those things in order to graduate. We also guarantee you housing all 4 years at St. Ben's and St. John's. We don't want you to have to move off campus, live off campus. We want you to have a lived 24/7 college experience. And we've invested millions of dollars in our housing for students with the traditional residence halls, suites, apartments, and houses on campus. We also have a global experience on our campuses. We offer 17 semester-long study abroad programs among national liberal arts colleges. We typically rank in the top 5 for semester-long study abroad numbers. And we have 20 short-term trips, and we go all over the world. We want you to have that international experience. You need to be a part of that global community. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on campus. We want you to be active and involved. We have a JEC, Joint Events Council, that does all the programming on our campus. So you're going to be able to get involved with other students. You do the planning. Not an old guy like me is going to bring in the bands and stuff. You get to bring those things to campus and things you like. We have NCAA Division III athletic programs, always competing for conference and national titles. We have 23 varsity teams. In addition to that, we also have competitive club sports, club dance team, lacrosse, Nordic skiing, and then all those wonderful outdoor activities that I mentioned earlier. Obviously, we're Catholic schools founded by Benedictine monks and nuns. The Benedictines are the oldest order in the Catholic Church, and you can see the values that we have on our campus that we think are really important. Values like community, respect, hospitality, justice. These are the people you're going to be around as a student, the professors, the faculty. These are the alums you're going to be around. This is who we are. Obviously, I want you to be successful when you graduate. Zippia does a survey every year. The last 2 years, we've been ranked as the top 2 schools in Minnesota for getting a job after graduation. And these are just a few of the companies that come onto our campuses to interview our students for jobs. Obviously, to apply for admission, lots of ways to do it. The Common App, our own application. We're test optional. You don't have to send in those test scores. We do need that transcript from you. We want to see your extracurricular and personal activities. Our typical student coming in has between a 3.3 and a 3.9 GPA. If your class does rank, we typically have students ranked in the top 30% of their class. For cost and financial aid, obviously, like a lot of other schools, it can be expensive. We know that. We're going to work with you to make it affordable. Everything, tuition, room, and board is about $60,000. We have academic scholarships that range from $15,000 all the way up to $32,000 per year. And we have fine arts, community service, legacy scholarships. We have a wonderful Army ROTC program that students can get. And then, of course, we have generous financial aid based upon you filling out the FAFSA and need. So that tells you a little bit about who we are. Would love to add some more questions, and I'm going to drop my information in the chat. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing that information. Minnesota is the North Star state, the land of 10,000 lakes. And now we're actually going to Pennsylvania for our final institution, Carlow University. This is the Keystone State. So Susan, go ahead and grab a screen share from us and teach us everything we need to know about Carlow University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And welcome, everyone. I'm Susan Winstow. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Enrollment at Carlow University. On behalf of Carlow, I would like to say Céad Míle Fáilte, which is Gaelic for 100,000 welcomes. Carlow is a small private Catholic university offering excellent professional and liberal arts programs. We were founded by the Sisters of Mercy, very much committed to service and social justice. And Carlow is very welcoming of everyone, regardless of where you come from, your background. I have been there for over 28 years, and I can absolutely attest to that. By the numbers, Carlow has about 2,000 students. We're considered a pretty small university. Of that, we have 1,300 undergraduate students. We have a 10-to-1 student faculty ratio. We have an average class size of 15 to 20, 14 varsity athletic sports. We are a very private, secluded campus. We sit on only 14 acres. We are in the Oakland neighborhood of Pittsburgh. We have 50 undergraduate programs from which students can select. And probably most impressive, 97% of our graduates are either employed or in graduate school shortly after graduation. So of the 50 programs that we have some that tend to be our largest, most popular, and ones that we are recognized as leaders in the region. We call them signature programs. And the nursing and healthcare signature programs are listed in front of you. Our biggest actually is our nursing BSN program. Our students can enjoy small class sizes. Our students can enjoy being taught by faculty who are all nurses. We have an amazing skills lab as well. You can see a little bit of it here in the picture. We have clinical exposure to over 10 hospitals at some of the finest teaching hospitals in the country. And for 5 years in a row, Carlow has had the highest pass rate on the NCLEX exam in the region. The NCLEX exam is the licensing exam that students have to take to actually be licensed to be a nurse. We also have some really unique majors at Carlow. We have cardiovascular perfusion, we have healthcare management, intraoperative neuromonitoring, respiratory therapy. I invite you to check out our website, learn a little bit more about these pretty unique majors here at Carlow. For our signature programs in the helping profession, we have art therapy preparation, which is a wonderful blend of art and psychology and counseling. It prepares students to go on to get their master's and become an art therapist. We have early childhood education. We have early development and learning. And one of the nice things for these programs, we have both a child center and a campus school, K-8, located right on our campus. So our students in the education field can get firsthand observation right in these areas. We have both psychology and social work. In these particular majors, we offer specific areas of concentration to prepare students to go on for graduate school. And in our signature programs, more on the creative artsy expression side, we have art, lots of different options in art, painting, drawing, ceramics, media animation, graphic design. We have art education. We have majors in communication, creative writing, English. And because we're nice and small and our students come with a lot of areas of academic interest, many of our students do double majors and come out with more than one degree, which makes you so very marketable when you're in the workforce. And if you don't really know exactly what you want to do, that's okay. We've got a deciding pathway for students to start off in and a wonderful career development center that will work with you to discover what your passion is. Beyond the classroom, civic engagement and service learning opportunities are embedded in all of our curriculum. We offer undergraduate research opportunities, internships, and professional work experience to students. We have a study abroad. We actually have a branch in Carlow, Ireland, too, that students can visit and attend. We have opportunities in student leadership, campus ministry, resident life, and we have several clubs and organizations for students to get involved in as well. And don't forget our 14 varsity sports. Pittsburgh is our city. Pittsburgh several times has been voted one of the most America's livable cities. It is home to numerous Fortune 500 headquarters and more than 50 renowned healthcare centers. So if you're looking in anything in the healthcare industry or any kind of amazing internships, this is the place. Pittsburgh is also a world-class cultural and arts community. Now, we're not in the city. You can see a picture of the city in the background. See how close we are, though. We're very close. We're in Oakland. Oakland is Pittsburgh's innovative corridor known as the Eds and Meds and Tech District. Oakland has one of the highest concentrations of college-age students, and we actually let our students cross-register at the other universities, and we offer exceptional internships. In fact, most of our students, by the time they graduate, have participated in at least 3 internships. For admissions and financial aid, all students are assigned a personal enrollment counselor. That would be somebody like myself. Ways to apply, we do accept the Common App, or you can actually create a Bridge to Carlow account and go right on our website and apply. We have rolling admission, which means we don't have a specific deadline. As soon as you get us your application and your transcripts, we review everything, your coursework, your resumes, your extracurricular activities. It is very holistic. We are test optional. We've been test optional since COVID. Probably going to continue that. We have merit scholarships. We actually, once we get everything, we can review you for both admissions and scholarships. Merit scholarships up to $20,000. They can be combined with athletic scholarships if you're an athlete. It can be combined with honors scholarships if you are invited to our honors program. We have the Catholic High School Award for students graduating from high school. Catholic schools, we have the legacy, and we encourage all students to file the FAFSA to see what additional aid they're eligible for. Our code is 003303, and it's not too late to apply for seniors. We're still offering scholarships as well. So we'd like to connect. This is our local number, our toll-free number, our email address, and you can, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we are accepting campus visits. It's by appointment on Mondays and Fridays. You just log into our website and schedule a visit. We would love to meet with you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Susan, for sharing that information about Carlow University. Now, in our final few minutes of time, I'm going to invite all of my panelists to turn their cameras on and turn their microphones on. We're going to do a quick round robin just to gauge and get some tips, actually. So we're going to go in the same order that you presented in. So we'll start with Gio at DePaul University. The question for you is, what tips or advice do you have for juniors as they're starting their college search process? Many of our attendees are juniors and underclassmen starting to look at colleges. So what tips do you have for them? Let's start with you, Gio.
Sure. Definitely. Thanks, Zach. I feel like the biggest thing is choosing a college is the best fit for you. I know that you're going to get a lot of pressure from your parents, your family members, your friends. It's always hard to kind of think as an individual, especially when you don't want to be alone in a city and things like that. But I highly recommend creating a pros and cons list for every school that you're looking at. Where is the school located? Is it someplace that you don't mind living for the next 4 years? Is it someplace that you might live after graduation? Is this location going to help you get those internships and the different things that you're looking at when you're looking at a college and then beyond college, right? So I think my biggest piece of advice probably for juniors is just picking a school that's the right fit for you. Hopefully it's DePaul. Hopefully it's one of the other schools that are presented tonight. It literally has to be someplace that you feel at home, because it will be your home for the next 4 years. I work on freshman admission, but I used to work in the transfer office at DePaul University. And the number one thing that students came into the office and said that the reason why they were transferring was like, I came to DePaul, I liked it so much, but then I chose to go to another school because my friends were going there or something. I should have just chosen DePaul the first time around because it felt like home. So definitely picking a school that makes you feel comfortable enough for you to become your best self.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Kaylee, tips, tricks, advice for juniors as they're starting their college search process?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess ask questions. Don't hesitate to reach out to the admissions office anywhere. That's what we're here for. We're not some big scary people. We want to chat with you about the school and help you find a place that is going to feel like home. So definitely ask questions. There is no dumb question. That's what we're here for.
Great. And that's a great point. And that's why even in this virtual events, we encourage you to type these questions, engage with these admissions counselors. Raise your hand real quick, show of hands. How many of you read applications? All of them. So they are the ones that are working for that institution, reading that application, and can answer all those questions that students have. So they are there for you to answer questions. Matt, what tips, advice do you have for students as they're going through this search process?
Yeah, I mean, I echo what Gio and Kaylee said. That's great advice. I would say that first, when you're looking at your application, if you're going to have people who write you letters of recommendation, make sure you want to focus on maybe some academic references, particularly those English, math, science courses, particularly from junior and senior level classes that can really attest to your ability to handle the higher levels of work that you do as you move through your high school experience. And so I think that's going to be really helpful for admission committees and trying to figure out if you're going to be also a good fit academically. Obviously, it has to be the right fit for you, as Gio said, and you want to ask as many questions as you can, as Kaylee said. But you want to put your best foot forward in that application process. And I think sometimes getting those teachers who know you well and won't write that generic letter will help you. And also, I think you want to be confident in what you've been through. I mean, you've been through a lot in the last year, particularly given COVID, and you should be confident in your abilities because you've had to basically have a disruption that no other student in the history of our country has had to experience up to this point. And you've persevered and you've survived and you've had to do different kinds of learning styles, the traditional high school experience. Maybe you've had to go all virtual. Maybe you've had hybrid. You might have had all three. You're going to be better prepared than you might think you will be because you've had so much disruption introduced into your high school experience. And so you should feel confident and you should be proud that you've been able to persevere through this situation, and you'll be great.
Matt, I'm going to follow up with your comment with one additional question, especially for the juniors that may have been e-learning all year. In terms of letters of recommendation, should they be going to an in-person teacher, or can they lean on those teachers that they've been e-learning with? What do you recommend for the juniors that may be in that situation? And then we'll get to Susan.
Well, I mean, I think from an e-learning perspective, I guess it depends upon, how you've done and how you've interacted with that professor. If you've had an engaged teacher, if you've had an engaged experience with that teacher, they've gotten to know you and you've had good rapport and good conversations with them, they've gotten to know you. I see no problem with you having a e-learning teacher to give you that letter of recommendation. I actually think that could maybe be an advantage in some way, because they can say, hey, not only look what this student did their first and second year of high school in person, but now look at how they did when they had to go all distance, and look at how good and how well they've done. And so I think that's certainly something you could do. And also, my hope and prayer for all of you is that you'll be back in person this fall, and you could still have one of your teachers in person as a senior taking maybe a calculus or a physics or something like that in your schedule. Not that you have to take those schedules. I was terrible at math. I hated calc. But I'm just saying, if you have those kinds of options, then you could maybe get one of those teachers who have you as a senior in person to write for you as well. So I think it really just depends upon the experience you've had, the teacher you've had, and how you've communicated with them.
Excellent. Thank you. Great advice. Susan, advice for juniors as they're starting the college search process.
Well, I'm going to echo all of my colleagues. Absolutely. I'll just add just a couple more things. Don't stress over, don't think you have to have all the answers and stress over having to have everything decided about your career. The two big stressors are, what am I going to do and major in, and how am I going to pay for it? Colleges provide wonderful resources and assist students in career preparation. They've got wonderful offices and mentors and resources to help discover what your passion is and how do you pair that up with a career path. And the price, I know sometimes that can scare a lot of students and families away, but oftentimes, especially if you're looking at private institutions that cost a little more, they tend to have really good scholarships, and their financial aid packages are pretty lucrative. I've had students come to Carlow and actually pay less than what they're paying for tuition for Catholic high schools. So if you can eliminate a couple of those stressors, it's always nice.
Excellent. Thank you. We've got just a few more minutes, so we'll do one more round robin. I want you to think about your favorite tradition on campus. What's the thing that is quintessential of your institution that just makes you smile and say, yeah, that's like such a cool experience for students at our institution? We'll go in the same order. Let's start with DePaul University.
I have two. So because one is, when you're a student, the biggest thing is something called Fest, where students actually go ahead and select musical artists to come and perform on campus. This year, because of COVID, we're going to have to hightail it till next year. But that's one of the first things that's just like everyone can't wait for it. The entire year, students are just constantly waiting for it. Then the second part is, after you graduate, one of our best traditions is we have a 9.5 foot tall statue in front of the STU, or the Student Center, of Monsignor Egan. And so students actually have posed with it. Some have gotten into his arms because he's kind of like stuck in this kind of posture, and people have been cradled by Monsignor Egan, which I think is really great and kind of like a great photo op. It's also just a cool place to just hang out, and everyone just kind of comes together at the STU. So definitely a cool place on campus.
Excellent. Thank you. Kaylee.
My favorite tradition would definitely be Peacock Palooza. So this is like a huge block party between the last day of classes and when finals start. Food trucks come, there's music, it's just a huge time, tons of fun, great experience. So that's
what a great name, Peacock Palooza. That's awesome. Excellent. Matt, favorite tradition?
Yeah, well, there's two. One would be the Benedictine monks and nuns who founded St. Ben's and St. John's. They've been baking bread for ever since they've been here. They brought the recipe over with them from Bavaria when they came over here 150 years ago. So for every campus visitor who comes to St. Ben's and St. John's, when you leave, we give you a loaf of that bread. And that's a gift from us. You break bread with family and friends, and we want you to break bread with us in the future. It's a wonderful tradition. So if you come to visit campus, when you leave, you get a loaf of that Johnny or Benny bread as a parting gift from us as you leave campus. And during the year as a student in the first year residence halls, we actually have hot bread nights where they put piping hot loaves out of the breads and they bring it over at 10 o'clock at night or 9:30 at night as a study break. And they put jam and jelly and honey and butter and peanut butter out on the tables. And it's just right there on the floor. And anyone can come out into the hall and have hot bread with their friends to kind of help build community and camaraderie within the residential halls and in the residential communities. And then the second one would be our Thanksgiving dinner that we have the week before Thanksgiving. So the Thursday before Thanksgiving, we have a massive Thanksgiving celebration on campus where we have literally all the fixings for students, where you and your friends can sign up for a time and you get a full Thanksgiving dinner. The turkey, the pumpkin pie, the cranberries, the stuffing, everything is right there, and it's all served to you and carved by professors and monks at St. Ben's and St. John's. They serve you your meal at the table with you and your friends. And so that's a wonderful tradition. So those are just a couple. We have so many, but those are two that stick out.
Excellent. Thank you. And Susan, favorite tradition at Carlow University?
All right, you're making me hungry now, Matt.
Same.
Well, I would say in honor of our Mercy heritage and founding, in the fall, one day in the fall semester, classes are canceled and faculty, students, staff, and administration go out into the Pittsburgh area and do volunteer work, whether it's in soup kitchens, whether it's at homeless shelters, whether we're painting something, whether we're building something, but we are closed for one whole day and we just go out and serve. And again, that really just embodies the mission of our sisters. So.
I love that. Excellent. Well, thank you so much to our wonderful panelists for teaching us not only about their institutions, but also on the college search process as you're starting to navigate this this big task of choosing a home for the next part of your life. So students, thank you for taking some time to learn about these different institutions, sit in on all of these panels and information sessions. We thank you all for joining us. As you close this window, a very brief 4-question survey will show up. We ask for your feedback on today's session. And thanks again for spending your afternoons or evenings with us. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.